Well, this is the simply the best Star 103.5 FM, and EIB certainly remains your 2024 election hub. Let me take you officially on the campaign trail now. It is some 9 minutes to the hour 6. And tonight on the campaign trail, my guest is in charge of operations of his party. Now, in the last few weeks and months, he has been crisscrossing the country, selling to Ghanaians a message of hope and resetting agenda on behalf of the NDC's flag bearer, John Dramani Mahama. Well, he believes his party slept in the 2020 elections. And had victory snatched from them. But this time round, he says the party will remain vigilant. Mustapha Foyo Gbande is my guest, and he's already in the studios. Remember that we are live on Facebook, on Star 103.5 FM, and on WhatsApp is via the number 055-288-0216. Again, it's 055-288-0216. You're welcome once again to the campaign trail. Are you welcome once again to the campaign trail? And as I told you, my guest is seated. Mustapha, you're welcome to the campaign trail.
Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure. So after many months of fighting to have a rep in the Amenfi Central constituency, it looks as though finally you have one. How does that make you feel?
I have always known that.
Please get closer to the
I've
mic.
always known that we'll come to this bridge.
What gave you that confidence?
It will be an unfair act of democracy to unduly deny a political party of such level of representation, particularly knowing that the order from the court was not premised on the substance of the matter before the court, but an interlocutory injunction, which was an interim injunction pending the
Final
issues.
judgment, right.
And I knew that there was no way anybody could win that matter in court. And so I've always known that we will come to this bridge.
Okay.
Again, MPP has fallen because it was their conspiracy to sort of.
You think this was
that-
inspired by the
Of
NPP?
course, I mean, it was inspired by the MPP
Did you have
and
evidence to back
Honorable
your claims?
Pachiaka and his schemes and all of that. But I think that having crossed that bridge, we'll deal with that at the right time. I've always said that no individual.
No, but how are you accusing Kwachiaka?
Oh, he's the one behind it. He was the one behind the genesis of this matter.
So you think he connived with the NPP to do
he
this?
sought to hold the party to ransom, but at the right time, the party will deal with him. For me, no individual will be allowed to take the NDC to ransom.
No, couldn't it be that he had genuine internal issues that your party failed to address?
Probably he thought that he could use the courts to deny Joanna Jankujo from becoming the candidate of the party. What else will a political party do when we have gone for an election which everybody campaigned and you lost? And then you complain, went to the court, through people, third persons and process, and we have recordings of you and have engaged you to the extent that the General Secretary and the Functional Executive Committee decided that we should nullify that legitimate election so that we please all parties, organize fresh election. And you still had issues. You went to that election and forged signatures. A sitting member of parliament, you forged signatures of branch executives. And when you are caught that the elected candidate should be denied opportunity to contest, I don't think that it finds any place or any love in the rule of law. It's clearly an affront to justice. Okay. And I have known that to come to this particular bridge. And we are going to win that seat. Okay. The NDC will win that. The votes the NDC will get in Amenfi Central will be very overwhelming. Overwhelming. Because the candidate is the choice of the people.
Okay. Now, when you say that you're going to punish the ACA,
yes.
What exactly are you going to do to him?
When we do that, you will hear. But I do think that the party would have to take on anyone who have held us to some sort of ransom. All this while, insulted national executives, insulted people.
He insulted you?
Yes, he insulted even the national chairman of the party.
What did he say exactly?
He insulted the national chairman of the party, insulted the general secretary of the party. And we have records of all of this. So when we get there, we will deal with those issues. As far as some of us remain executives of the NDC, our party must be a disciplined body that works with rules. And that is what exactly the party have become today, which is why we are attracted. We are attracted to a lot of people. If you have a party where people's greed is so entrenched and so wide that you and I are not powerful, and for that matter, we cannot find space within the political party, then you are not building a political party that involves people. But when the rules prevail, then each and everyone will prevail when you work hard.
Okay. Now, for the NPP, we know that if somebody decides to forfeit his allegiance with the party, the person is expelled. What is the provision for the NDC?
We also have the same provisions.
So he's likely to be expelled from the NDC?
We will see in the coming days. Because as it stands, he's an independent candidate. Now we have our candidate. So EC doesn't have a choice than to file that candidate. So we will see where he stands.
But officially, will he be expelled from the party?
He ought to have known that if you cross carpet, we are not MPP where today they change rules depending on how it suits them. But for us, if you cross carpet, you stand expelled from the party. You are not more a member of the party.
Okay, so as it stands now, today, now that you have a parliamentary candidate in the Amenfi Central constituency,
yes.
Are you telling me that Peter Kwache Aka has been expelled from the NDC?
We have not yet taken that decision.
But you will?
But eventually we will.
Okay. How soon will you take that decision?
I'm yet to hear from my boss on whose behalf I speak. And the national chairman will come back from his campaign. He's now dealing with House of Chiefs in Ashanti region.
Okay.
And when he comes back, we'll deal with that.
Peter didn't take this decision just yesterday. Why has it taken you so long to act on what your party's constitution?
We are a political party. We work with strategy.
So
and we are managing people. And so sometimes the best political party is one that leaves people in their erroneous actions to repent, so that enough room is given for people to change. We believe that all that he was doing was to test waters, to test the commitment of the party, to see if by doing that...
You think he would go through all the trouble to test the commitment of the party?
What else don't we go through for power? You see people eating and people drinking calipo, people drinking pure water for power, and somebody have just gone to court, and you think that is not enough to get him power. It's enough. It's enough testing of the water. But you see, the party is so resolved and so committed to what we do that we are very careful that we don't deal with people wrongly. by doing so, we would not also give anybody undue advantage that you don't deserve.
Okay.
As far as the party is concerned.
Okay. So when he had declared his intention, were there talks with him to get him to rescind his decision?
Look, we have engaged him. I have gone to Amenfi Central, even at the time of registration. And I called him. He insulted me. You know, the party hierarchy have engaged him. The Council of Elders of the party have engaged him. The political committee of the party have engaged him. Leadership of today's majority in parliament, led by Honorable Atiforsen, engaged him. The Western Caucus of the NDC have engaged him.
Okay.
He has friends within the Functional Executive Committee who have all engaged him. For whatever reason, he chose to take his own decision. And I think it's quite unfortunate that he has built his political career to this level. Only because you are defeated at the parliamentary level, you can hold the party to ransom. It's quite unfortunate.
Okay. But in the interim, has he been meted with any punitive measures?
We are yet to do all that.
Yeah, to do all of that.
But he still have an opportunity to step down and become a former MP who is still in the party.
If he doesn't do that,
We will get to that bridge. It won't keep long.
okay. Now, as it stands now, it appears there's some sort of division in the Amenfi Central constituency. So there is Peter Ake's part, and then there's Joanna Jankujo's part. And we all know that elections, or really politics, deals largely with numbers. And so, are you not worried?
There's no division in Amenfi
There's no
Central.
division?
There's an individual who is greedy.
You don't think that Peter may have swept some of the NDC supporters to his camp?
But
You don't think so?
they've seen him. His character that he's showing in Amenfi Central is that one that is patriotic enough that people will follow such a person. The people love the party. And you've been the party's candidate or MP for, I think, 8 years. Okay? You came from the MPP. You crossed carpet from the MPP. And we received you. And we made you a DC. Subsequently, you removed a sitting MP. He didn't go to kill himself. He didn't divide the party. Now, someone comes and removes you, and you think you can take people out. I can assure the national chairman himself was in Amenfi
For
Central.
clarity, you say that Peter crossed carpets from the NPP?
Yes. Yes.
So he defected?
He defected from the MPP, and we received him, gave him an opportunity, made him a DC in that constituency. And then he got resources, empowered, the people loved him. He removed a sitting MP. And you were removed in a contest. And because you are removed, you should hold the party to the ground. No. So I'm just telling you that Amenfi Central is united, around its candidates. We are going to go there and clean it up. We will clean the mess up. And I can assure you that we will win that seat with a high majority.
What percentage are you looking at?
Well, when we clean it up, I'll let you know. But Kwachaka is not a trouble for anybody at all.
Okay.
He is not. Look, he has demonstrated enough of bad faith, and I think by this time he should be apologizing and approaching party leadership, so that he steps down as an independent candidate.
Okay.
Because you can't come to clash with the law of the party. The law will prevail.
But would you describe him as somebody that is not loyal?
I'm disappointed in him.
Is he disloyal?
I'm very disappointed in him.
Is he disloyal?
I'm very disappointed in him. I don't think that one has his age, his caliber, his pedigree in the party. I don't think he should be doing that. But if he has done that, I stand very disappointed in him. His level of, displeasure and insults and all sorts of things. But we are willing to forgive him if he steps down.
You still haven't answered my question. Is he disloyal?
At this point, because
he moved from the NPP now to the NDC.
No, I can't judge him wrongly on that basis. Okay. But I'm saying that because if the NPP is a bad party, he will move.
And if the NDC is a bad party, he will move.
No, he hasn't moved. He's going on independent. He didn't go back to the NPP.
He's moving to something else.
Something else, yes. He says, now I want to be on my own. But I cannot describe him as disloyal.
Okay.
I just feel that I'm disappointed in his action. Particularly with the gestures we have made to try and nullify an election for your sake. Then you go and forge signatures, and when you have stepped out, you want to still continue holding the party to the ground. I think it's very unfortunate.
I mean, I know you say that Kwacha is not a threat, but does the party feel betrayed?
No. Betrayal in politics, everybody can betray anybody at any time in politics. So we are not building a political party expecting people not to betray you. Betrayal is one of the instruments in politics. So at every point in time as a political party, you must have a plan B.
Okay.
Because people will fall short of the law and the rules.
Okay.
And when they fall short, you must plug in your plan B. We are ready to win an election, so we have defined clearly our path, and that is what we are doing.
Okay.
We don't miss our steps at all.
Okay. Let's talk about the Supreme Court now. So today we were all hoping that, finality would be brought to the matter, or what people have described as the impasse between the judiciary and the legislature. But unfortunately, it has been postponed to tomorrow, or adjourned to tomorrow, because lawyers for the Speaker, Thaddeus Sorry, decided not to show up. Are you disappointed?
I won't hold brief for the Speaker of Parliament or his lawyers. But as a student of law and a practitioner of democracy, I think that the court should be worried. The Supreme Court should be worried. The Chief Justice should be more worried that her legacy is nothing but a sham, politically induced, an embarrassment to justice, and an affront.
That is how you describe
and
her
an
legacy.
affront to justice delivery. Because you see, when public perception in an institution, not less one than the apex of our courts, is so negative, forget what they have done or may not have done. But when public perception is so negative about an institution like the Supreme Court under the judiciary, we should be worried. And whosoever have led to that decay should be more worried. And I think that Justice Tokuno have not been fair to herself by allowing President Akufo-Addo to use her in this manner, by allowing this government to manipulate her hands to this level, where even students of law can see that the court is headed on the market, the road of the market people, and not a road of law. I don't think that with the sanctity, the fortification afforded the judiciary, which should allow the Supreme Court to come this low. We shouldn't.
You think the Supreme Court has sunk low?
Very low. Avoidably very low. Because Justice Tokuno was one of the lawyers of President Akufo-Addo in 2012. Paul Adumochiri said that he talks too much. He profiled Justice Tokuno as one of the loyalists of President Akufo-Addo. So when you are coming to the stage and this is your prelude, okay, that you are loyal to the president, that is why he's appointing you as a Chief Justice. In the minds of people, you are coming to do the bidding
of the president.
And then you come and you do worse. You're actually towing that line. When, of course, the judiciary is the only institution where human rights can get rescue from politicians like the ones we have in the Jubilee House now, who have the strongest appetite to abuse human rights, weaponize state institutions for political gains.
Okay, but how does the NDC plan to address this?
When we come to power, we will address it.
If Ghanaians decide to
we
vote
will
for
address,
you.
we will address it. We will address it. I can assure you that we will address it. NDC will give you a judiciary where you can walk to the court and get justice. Today, if you slap me, I won't go to the courts.
What will you do?
The courts are corrupt. I won't go there.
You slap me
If
back.
I can't slap you back, I'll forgive you. Many Ghanaians will now think that their avenue for justice is to take the law in their hands because they won't get it in the courts. Our courts, our judiciary, and not just the judiciary, because see, the leadership of the judiciary has the power to bring fortification again to the institution. When you are corrupt, your product or your legacy will be corrupt. Today, Ghanaians feel that they don't get justice in our courts. When you do wrong, the avenue for you to discharge yourself from the courts today is higher than when you are right and you are in the court fighting somebody who have wronged you. Which kind of country is that? We have to restore this country back to what it is.
I want to know your plan for that restoration that you talk about.
And the judiciary, we'll clean it. We'll clean it up.
Okay.
The judiciary will be cleaned up.
So,
of course, we won't have Justice Tokuno continue these things, even if she remains the Chief Justice. She cannot continue this under the presidency of President John Dramani Mahama. Because, of course, everybody knows that she doesn't like President Mahama. So if she remains a Chief Justice...
really, everybody knows that she doesn't like
President
President
Mahama. When you go
Mahama.
and see the president and you frown your face as if he is your rival
But
in public,
is that enough to conclude
your
that
former
she
president,
doesn't like...
your former president, the former president of a country, you go and see him in a program and you frown your face? What utter disrespect from a Chief Justice of her sort that we should not tolerate. That if we fail to celebrate one another, then tomorrow when President Akufo-Addo exits as president, his statue will be removed. These things he's building all over the place will be removed.
You're going to take that statue down.
I'm not saying me. I'm saying that if we don't celebrate one another in public service, like what you are doing today, if we don't give respect to people who have served this country honorably, tomorrow, if President Akufo-Addo exits and becomes the former president, his statue will be removed. Now, they are looking for police to protect it. That is the level of disenchantment against the sitting president.
Okay. I don't even want us to go there just yet, but you talked about cleaning up the judiciary. Is that something that the NDC has been deliberating on?
Ghanaians are speaking about it. Ghanaians are worried. Are you not worried? What you see, what you hear, are you not worried? Do you like your country to have a judiciary of this nature? You go to court and you, an attorney general, you say that the Speaker of Parliament cannot hire his own lawyers and that you are the lawyer of the Speaker of Parliament. And you go to court and you are on one side against the Speaker of Parliament. Are you insane? Are you correct? Is that law?
Okay, so
who commissioned Godfrey Dame as a lawyer?
Okay.
If I
understand you, there's no impartiality in the court.
It's not about partiality. This is common sense here. I'm saying that you go to the court and complain that the Speaker of Parliament cannot procure the services of an independent lawyer using sole sourcing. And you got Public Procurement Authority, for whatever reason, refusing the Speaker of Parliament, who has to go and fight for himself in the courts, because you have to go to the Supreme Court with a legal representation. And you have an Attorney General who is in that same court fighting the Speaker of Parliament.
An Attorney General trained by the President.
Of course, the same headmaster with his kind of students. Same, they behave same. Abuse of power, abuse of processes. And they are here. The government is here because of some of these things.
Okay. But Mustapha, you haven't told me how your party will clean up the judiciary.
We will clean it. Don't you think Ghanaians want a restoration?
It's not about thoughts. You haven't told me how your party will do that.
You should be asking President Mahama. I just know that we will clean the judiciary and restore its dignity and fortify it to be very independent and be able to give, adequate justice delivery to the people of Ghana. Justice must be on the plate of the poor, the rich, and the broken.
Okay.
Justice in Ghana should not be for the rich. Today, it's not even for the rich. It's for the politicians. President Akufo-Addo and his people are the ones controlling justice today. If they want you to win a case, they can make you win. If they want you to lose, they can make you lose. Is that the kind of country you want to have? So that another president comes and decides that I want to weaponize the court and use it the way I want. Then if they, at pleasure, they come and take you and go and jail you. Is that the courts you want to have? So I know that the NDC will clean it. But I don't know how.
But you're not going to tell me how.
I don't know how.
Okay. Are you a violent person?
No. I'm a very principled person.
So you never told anybody or the NDC supporters to carry cutlasses?
I did.
You did?
I did.
How is that peaceful?
How is that not peaceful when you have people wearing police uniforms and killing innocent voters?
So you want the supporters to counter that with cutlasses?
The context with which I used the statement of cutlasses was not what Asasi Radio published.
Tell me, now that you're here.
We had assembly election. And then this same Apenyo Markins took military officers to his constituency, beating up people, including journalists. So I was asked, and I said, have we gotten to a place where polling stations are no longer safe? That you can only go and cast your vote, and by the time you realize you have received a stray bullet, someone comes and slaps you for no wrongdoing. If that is the case, when you are going to a polling station, defend yourself.
With a cutlass.
Have it in your pocket if that is something to defend yourself.
That was the best advice you could have given.
Yes, and even worse because
And
8 people have been killed and nothing has happened. If they were your kids, will you be happy?
But you know the saying that 2 wrongs don't make a right.
That is not a wrong. Self-defense is a wrong thing.
But encouraging people to carry cutlasses.
I am encouraging people to defend themselves because you have a violent government in place.
So they should counter it with violence.
But will you go and be praying in church when they bring people to come and kill you? You want that advice from me? You won't get it. You will not get it. I'm not the type that you will attack and I'll run to a church room to go and pray.
So you are violent?
No. When you precipitate violence towards me, you will get...
You respond in the same measure.
No, you get a proportionate return of same. Maybe a bit higher than what you have done. That is me. I'm not saying you. And I won't take members of a party to an election where I know that the opponent want to kill. And I ask them to go and be holding Bibles.
They should carry cutlasses.
The MPP is training people in military camps and all of that. When the NDC is busy campaigning, they are busy printing fake ballot papers. They are busy preparing to steal. And you want that to happen. They are saying that at voting centers, there will be spiral shooting, okay? Random shooting to scare people from voting. And if you go and do that...
And you have evidence of
if
all
you
of
go
that?
and do that, I will encourage the people to
Do
chase such a fellow and arrest him.
Do you have evidence
Tame
of the
him
NPP
before they hand him over to the
of
police.
the NPP printing out fake ballots? Do you have evidence of
You
that?
say?
Do you have evidence of the NPP printing fake ballots?
I'm saying that, are they doing it? I just made a statement. Are they doing it?
So this is your assumption?
It's not an assumption. I'm asking a question. Are they doing it? Assuming that one political party is printing fake ballot, printed ballot papers for election. Is it the MPP? Are they doing it? Should we allow that to happen? Assuming a political party's plan is that on an election day that is supposed to be very peaceful, go and simultaneously shoot into the sky to scare people. Who should allow that to happen? And so we'll just tell the people that anybody who comes to do that, the citizens should round the person up, tame him, and you hand him over to the police if he's able to reach the police. Because you see, I will advise this government that the NDC that I lead as a deputy general secretary and the President Mahama, who is the leader of the party, have no single plan to be violent in the 2024 election. We have no single plan to rig the election. If it is government's plan to steal the will of the people, they should advise themselves. They are better off losing the election peacefully than being forced out.
Okay. You're still listening to Start Today. I'm engaging the NDC's Deputy General Secretary in charge of operations in the person of Mustapha Gbande. Mustapha, we have just about just 30 days to the main polls. Yeah. How are things going for you as a Deputy General Secretary?
I'm not complacent, though. Because when you are dealing with thieves and crooks...
Who are the thieves?
I'm saying that when your opponents are thieves and crooks, then of course you must open your eyes very widely. And when you have a lazy crop of politicians who believe that their way to power is not to convince you, but to force you or to steal your will and impose it on yourself, then I will assure you that we are preparing for that. But if there were elections today, the NDC will get votes that we have never gotten before.
So you talked about preparations. Run me through how prepared you are.
We are prepared in terms of vigilance. We are prepared to combat. Look, for example, they want to use some military officers to misbehave. And I say every day that
you've heard of or you've seen.
No, the peace of this country from today to January is in the hands of two people, not in President Akufo-Addo's hands, no. Because President Akufo-Addo wants to protect his wicked Ajapadia and hide the atrocities he has committed. So he has interest in this election. The person who doesn't have interest is Dampare and the CDS, the Ghana Armed Forces. They are supposed to be a buffer between the two political parties and ensure that what is law prevails. But you know, if any group of military officers want to misbehave in this election, we have infiltrated the Ghana Armed Forces so much that we have NDC soldiers today and we have MPP soldiers today. So when you go and misbehave, the soldiers who are NDC won't sit down and watch you.
You have NDC soldiers.
Yes, I'm telling you. In the Ghana Police Service.
Are you going to be fomenting
in
trouble,
the Ghana Police Service, okay, today, if you give a command, that command will be examined whether or not it's lawful. But if the IGP gives any command that is supposed to favor a political party or allow a political party to misbehave, you would have NDC police officers rising against the bad decision.
NDC police officers.
That is the way we are going to ensure the election is very peaceful.
Really?
Yes, because
by involving partisanship in the security agencies.
By involving what?
Partisanship.
Are you not in this country when they were doing illegal recruitments? Is that not partisanship? Are you not in this country that people within the police service, the Ghana Armed Forces, are being victimized because of political exposure?
So the best thing you can do is to get NDC.
Don't the police people feel? Don't the military officers feel the impact of bad governance? Don't they feel it? Were we not here when in 2020?
They are not working for political parties.
Yeah, they
Mustapha.
are working. They have families. When you have a bad free SHS, the son of the military officer goes to a free SHS and fed very poorly, where his taxes, his sweat, he's told that we are paying 11 million Ghana cedis every month for Wi-Fi, and there's no Wi-Fi in the senior high schools. You expect that military officers should say that I'm working for the country, so let me be quiet. Are we Togolese? Are we not Ghanaians? Go to the filling station today. When you park your car, Tutu, will they ask you if you are a wife of President Mahama or you are a wife of Akufo-Addo? You buy it at a very high price. The corruption that is happening. You think that the police officers, they don't have families. Then in spite of that, the broad day stealing, dissipation of public resources, the level of arrogance demonstrated by this government, from the president to the last minister in this government, they still tell you a lie. 2 weeks or 3 weeks to election, you have a minister of education who will come and stand in the public space and lie. And you think that the police officers do not have families?
So election day, we should be looking out for NDC policemen and NDC.
No, we should be looking out for a very peaceful election. Because we have told the MPP and President Akufo-Addo that we can assure him that the NDC will be very peaceful in this election.
Okay.
But if he repeats 10% of what he did in 2020, he will regret it.
So is that what you mean when you say that you're not going to be sleeping like you did in 2020?
Yes, because this election, if the government has intelligence, Ghanaians are not supporting this government. The number of people, the neutrals, who are throwing their weight behind the NDC, you cannot reconcile with all of them as a government to continue to function. You can't. Even within the MPP, the Jubilee House here, just here, everything they do there, we get to know. Because they send us the information.
Okay.
Senior members of the MPP believe that the party must go to opposition so that they can take their party and rebrand it. Because what is happening is a shame. It's unheard of. Okay? That today, if you mention the MPP, it's criminality that follows it. Scandals.
Okay. Now, Mustapha, despite your optimism in the fact that the NDC is likely to win the polls in December, Baumia says that by midnight of December 7, December 8, he'll be declared winner.
Do you honestly think as a Ghanaian that Baumia should be your kind of president?
Oh, there are people that love him and believe in his policies.
I'm saying that. Do you honestly believe that Baumia should be your president at this time of our country? Do you honestly feel so? Look, yesterday the Minister of Education spoke, and I was a bit sad because I have always respected his pedigree. At least I know that he's a better option if he was a running mate than the one we have, Napo.
Educhum would have been better than Napo.
Far. You can't compare Napo to Educhum. Napo is a street talker. He doesn't talk wisdom. Educhum is well educated, well articulate, well polished.
Napo isn't well educated.
No. Will you want Napo to be in the Jubilee House so that you, Tutua, will go and see Napo as your vice president? Do you know the country in which you are? The country that is a safe hub for diplomatic issues. Ghana, we don't know what is conflict, what is war. Do you need a kind of person like Napo to be your vice president? Do you honestly believe you want your children to see Napo's picture and begin to jubilate that this is an example of who they want to be? Do you believe that? Let's honor this country a little bit, and let's give politics some level of seriousness. Politics is not a hub of foolishness. It's for serious thinkers and people who build nations.
Okay. Mustapha, we are wrapping up shortly, but I want to find out from you. Your candidate is in the Ashanti region.
Yes.
And ever since he started Mahama worships with the clergy, he's had a number of prophecies that looks like he's going to win the polls. Do you take those clergymen seriously?
I'm saying that, look, they have done everything, including bringing Malams to this country.
I just want briefly, do you take those prophets seriously?
Of course.
You take them seriously.
But I'm saying that
including Opambo, who has said that he saw in his vision that you're going to win.
Including Owusu Bempah, who is the head of priesthood for President Akufo-Addo. He poured anointing oil on President Akufo-Addo's head. That man is saying today that his party cannot win. And you don't want me to believe what Opambo will say. But I am more convinced. I'm an operations person. I am more convinced on our victory, premised on the hard work, premised on the focus, premised on the fact that we are so far in partnership with the people of Ghana, hoping that in January 2025, things will begin to pick up for us as a country, as compared to the state of hopelessness that we have today. I am more convinced that President Mahama is more positioned, more focused to continue some good work that Ghanaians have come to see that he have done, as compared to a president, an 80 years old man who have led the highest level of stealing, broad day stealing of public resources. Look, let me tell you, if Ghanaians allow President Akufo-Addo to go scot-free, no president will take Ghanaians serious again in this country.
Okay, we're wrapping up. You are very confident that your party will win, but tell Ghanaians why.
We will win. I'm telling you that we would win. Nobody will.
I can't say that right now.
I'm saying that I'm leading a prayer. I'm telling you that even MPP people, they are campaigning for us.
But me, I can't say that. And
you cannot say that because you are neutral. But I know you won't vote for the MPP. Because look, if the MPP gets an opportunity today to go to Congress, they won't choose Dr. Bawumia as their flag bearer.
Okay, Mustapha, tell Ghanaians why they should vote for the NDC. You have
that
the final word.
This government is corrupt.
That is all.
This government is divisive. Look, are you happy that a government is leading policies that will tell your children? I'm not against homosexuality. But this government is leading a full-scale policy to turn our community into homosexuality, where our children will have to be choosing their sexuality. I am afraid. If you are not afraid, allow them. But at least the NDC will not have such a policy.
That is why Ghanaians
I'm not against,
the
NDC is not against a lesbian or a homosexual, how do they call them?
Homosexuals.
But we won't also put out a policy that publicizes the work of homosexuals. Because when you are having sex, you don't put it in public.
Okay, Mustapha.
You see these boys, young men, campaigning for the MPP and throwing their buttocks as if they are rats. Okay. That is the MPP for you. Are not afraid for your children.
We are wrapping up.
They are an abuse to our cultural rights. They are an abuse to our religious life. They are an abuse to our family rights. And I believe that even on this basis, they should be voted out of power. Two, no president have ever come to this country to be a president who have divided our nation the way President Akufo-Addo have done. And that basis, let the MPP go home.
Okay.
Let them rebrand. Let them get very focused people to take over the party and come back again.
Okay, the Ghanaians have heard you. Thank you very much. I've been engaging Mustapha Gbande. He's a Deputy General Secretary of the NDC in charge of operations. And that wraps up campaign trail here on Started and, of course, Started as well.